Is it audible, Varun? Hello, Varun. Sohan,
Sir.
is it audible?
Yes, sir, it is audible.
So last session, we have completed the concept of input statements. In today's session, we will discuss about different kind of output statements supported by the Python programming language. Are you able to see the notepad editor?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Recording in progress.
What was the previous question? CR? Varun? Hello, Varun.
Sir.
Strength ఎంతమ్మా previous class
51, sir.
51. సో ఇంకా మరి టోటల్ స్ట్రెంత్ రాలేదమ్మా. టైం
లో కొంచెం లేట్ గా వస్తుంది సార్. అంటే జాయిన్ మీటింగ్ అని కొంచెం లేట్ గా వస్తుంది సార్.
ఓకే, కానీ కొంచెం టైం ఉండమ్మా.
అవును.
ఎందుకంటే 40 minutes మా క్లాస్.
ఓకే సార్. అంటే అక్కడ రావట్లేదు సార్ జాయిన్ మీటింగ్ అని.
అంటే మీరు రెడీగా అయితే ఉండండి.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే అమ్మా. ఓకే. Are you able to see the code window?
Yes, sir.
So last session, we discussed about the concept of input statements for reading multiple number of values with the help of what? A single input statement, isn't it? So let us suppose if I am writing like this, input of here if I am writing enter values. Let us suppose if I am writing 5 values here, enter 5 values. Enter 5 values. So what I am trying to do with the help of input function, what I am trying to do, I am going to read 5 number of values. Okay, 5 number of values are read with the help of what? Input function. So if it has to be done, how it has to be done. So I'm using split method over what? The string object. So if you consider any input function, so if you are executing input function, what happens internally? It reads whole line of information in the form of a string. So let us suppose if that string is having multiple number of words separated by what? Spaces. So if the words of the string are separated by the spaces, so if my requirement is to divide it into multiple number of values based upon what? Space as the separator, you can do it with the help of what? Split method. You can use split method over the string, such that when split method is worked upon the string object, what happens? The string which is having multiple number of words are separated based upon the space, and they are stored into a list object, and that list object is written by the split function. So what does split function returns? Split function will always returns the thing in the form of what? List object. So what does it consist of? It consists of the data items in the form of what? Strings. So each and every data item which is part of this particular list which is written by the split item is available in the form of what? String object. Now by seeing this message, user can give what? 5 number of values which are separated by what? Spaces. So the values are separated by what? Spaces. So when this split method is called, so this particular split method is this particular split function, this method is returning what? List object, right? So here I'm storing the list object which is written by this method, okay, equal to L1 equal to input out, L1 equal to input of. Okay, so this L1 is having what? L1 is having what? It is having the values which are written by the split function in the form of the list object. Okay, so that particular list will be having what? 5 number of values. All the 5 values are available in the form of the strings. Now if I want to convert these 5 values into the integer, let us assume that, so we are giving 5 number of numbers which are non-decimal values. Those non-decimal values are read from the console screen. Okay, from the shell window I'm reading the values. So those all 5 values are read in the form of what? Strings. When they are returned by the split object, they were stored inside of the list object. If they have to be converted into the integer format and they have to be stored into the list, if it is your requirement, then it can be done as follows. So how many variables, guys? Please respond. How many values are needed here? As I am storing 5 number of values in the form of the string object, they have to be converted into integer data type or not, and they have to be stored into 5 variables. Okay, so let us see the thing. A comma B comma C comma D comma E comma F. I'm writing. How many variables, guys? How many variables? Sorry, 5 variables are needed, right? A comma B, A comma B comma C comma D comma E. That's it. And what I'm doing, I'm converting into integer data type, right? So where are the values available? The values are available within the list. Okay. So what I'm doing is, so here I'm mentioning square braces, and I'm mentioning square braces. What does it indicate, guys? Can I consider it as a list? I'm converting into integer data type. Then here I'm mentioning for is in L1. So what I'm trying to do? Can anyone guess, guys? So when this for loop is executed, so can anyone tell me for how many number of times the list is, so for how many number of times the loop is going to be executed? Can anyone respond?
5 times.
Hello, speak louder. Hello.
5 times.
5 times, because we are storing 5 number of values in the form of strings into the L1 object, right? So because of that reason, this particular for loop is going to be executed for 5 number of times. The value which we are assigning for the X, okay, that is converted into integer data type and it is stored into the list object. So this particular list object is going to have how many number of elements?
5.
5 number of elements. In which format? Integer format. Okay, let us see the execution. Okay, so after executing this, I will display the content of A and B, A, B, C, D. Okay, A comma B comma C comma D comma A. Okay, I'm writing this. So whatever values are there as part of this A, B, C, D variables, so those values are displayed onto the console screen. Okay, so save the logic, guys. I'm storing into Python folder, so which is located in the desktop, which is located on the desktop. So store it into your concerned folder, okay, into working folder. So cscp, so here I'm giving the name of the program as input example 5.py. Save the logic and run the program. See here what it is asking for. Are you seeing?
Enter 5 values.
Enter 5 values. So give 5 values. So how values are given here? So values are separated by space. So 10 space 20 space 30 space 40 space 50. Now how many values are given here? 5 values are given. Now these 5 values are stored into what? They are stored into what? Where are the values stored? Please respond, guys. The values are stored into L1 object or not? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
So why it is storing into L1? Because here we are using what? Split method. Okay, so input dot split. So as input function is returning a string object, that string object is converted into multiple number of values which are stored inside of a list, and that list object is returned by the split function. Okay, so the list is available in L1 object. So the content of list object will be available in L1. Okay, then what I am doing, I'm going for the next statement. Okay, so it is an assignment statement. When it is an assignment statement, RHS part will be executed. Now you come to the RHS part. Come to the RHS part and execute the RHS part. So within the square braces, it is going to execute what? The for loop. Now what happens here? So for X in L1. So when the loop is getting executed for the first time, what happens here? The first item which is part of the L1. What's the first item, guys? As I have given 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 are available in the form of string format and stored into L1 object, right? So what's the first item of L1?
10.
10 is assigned to X variable, and we are converting into what? Integer data type, and is stored into the list. Stored into the list. After executing this statement, again, the control comes to the next item, which is part of the L1 object. So what's the next item available in the L1 object?
20.
20. So 20 is assigned to X variable, and it is converted into what? It is converted into integer data type, and it is stored into the new list. Okay, it is stored into the new list. So after storing 20 into the new list, again what I am doing? I am considering the third data item of the L1. What's the third data item?
30.
30. So 30 is assigned to X variable, and it is converted into integer data type and is stored into the list, newly created list. Now at this instance, so 10, 20, 30 are available in the list. Okay, so after executing the loop, again it moves to the next item available in the L1. What's the next item? So earlier case, it was pointing towards 30, right? Now in this iteration, control is pointed towards what? The next item. What's the next item?
40.
40. So 40 will be assigned to X variable, and then it is converted into what? It is converted into integer data type and stored into the newly created list. So that list is having what? Already it is having 10, 20, 30. Now 40 is also added to that list. Then control moves to the next item available in the L1. So what's the next item? Next item
50.
available in the list
50.
L1. In the L1 list, what's the next item after 40?
50, sir.
50. So that 50 is assigned to the X variable, and it is converted into what? Integer data type, and it is stored into the newly created list. So that list having 10, 20, 30, 40. So to that list, 50 will be added. So do we have one more item available in L1?
No, sir.
No, it is not available. So what happens? Control comes outside of the loop, and this particular list, this list is having how many number of elements?
5.
5 number of elements. Available in which format? Elements available in which format? Are they available in string format or integer format?
Integer.
Integer
format. Now this list, which is having 5 number of values, they are assigned to these variables respectively. So the first item available in this list is what? 10. So 10 is assigned to A variable, 20 is assigned to B variable, 30 is assigned to C variable, 40 is assigned to D variable, and 50 is assigned to E variable. Now when I'm printing the content of A, B, C, D, E, what it will show?
10, 20, 30, 40, 50.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So that values will be shown up on the user screen. You run the program. See here. So what it is asking for? It is asking for the 5 values. I'm giving 10 space, 20 space, 30 space, 40 space, 50. When I press enter, see here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
That's the thing. Okay. Is it clear? Are you following, guys? Please respond.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So today's topic is about output statements. We have completed input statements. So now we are in which concept, guys? Output statements. We were discussing about the output statements. So when your intention is to display something upon the output screen, on the console screen, on the user screen. So what you people have to do, you have to use print function. For printing something onto the user screen, you people have to go with the concept of what? Print. Now let us see various types of print statements that are supported by what? Python programming language. Now let us suppose if I am using like this, print of circular braces. Okay, so I'm giving 0 number of parameters to this particular print function. Then what happens? Let us see with an example. Okay, so I'm giving an example. So example for what? 0 number of arguments. I'm not passing any kind of value to this particular print function. Then what happens? Let us see here. So print of, here I'm writing Vamshi. Okay, then I'm giving print. Then I'm writing one more print statement. So as part of this, what I have done? Did I pass any kind of value here? Is a spot? It is a function or not?
Yes, sir.
So in the first print statement, I have passed a value. How many values? Only one value is passed. So how many number of parameters are passed here? For the first print statement, how many number of inputs are there?
One.
One parameter is there. One argument we have passed to the print function. What about second print statement?
Zero.
Pass
Zero.
nothing. So 0 arguments, right? Then third print statement. So here I'm writing Krishna. Okay. Here I'm writing Krishna. Now I want to execute this particular logic over the user screen on the output window. So I want to show the content of this particular program on the user screen. Okay, so if you execute this particular program, what will be the output of the first print statement? Vamshi will be displayed. What about next print statement?
0.
Blank
Zero.
line.
Does it
maybe.
display 0?
Blank line.
Blank line will be visible. So when you press enter key on the notepad editor, what happens, guys? So when you press enter key in the notepad editor, what happens?
It moves to a new line.
Moves to the new line. So that happens with what? This particular print statement. That means when you are not passing any kind of value to the print function, what it does? Moves the cursor to the next line. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Next.
Krishna.
Krishna will be displayed upon the user screen. So that's the output, guys. So what will be the output? So output is what? First line it shows Vamshi. Then second line. Can we expect any kind of output? It moves
No,
the
sir.
cursor to the next line, right? So moves the cursor to the next line and displays what? Krishna. So this is the output. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Next. So print of string, as what we have discussed with the first print statement. So how print is represented in Python programming language? Hello. So if you want to represent a data item as a string in Python programming language. So how data item is represented in the form of string in Python programming language? Data item has to be integrated inside of what? Either single quotes or double quotes or triple quotes. Okay. So print of, I'm writing in the single quotes, hi. Can I consider it as a string? Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So it is considered as a string. Okay. Single quotes. Even I can mention in the form of what? Double quotes. Double quotes can be used. Okay. Then even triple quotes can be used or not?
Yes, sir.
So you can use even triple quotes. So like this you can write, or even we can have what? Triple quotes with the help of double quotes, right? So even this syntax can be followed. Print of. So even this syntax can be followed, isn't it? So we already discussed regarding the need of triple quotes concept, isn't it? Have we discussed or not?
Yes.
So in the initial sessions we discussed. So what's the output, guys? Output will be what? So for the first print statement, I will be shown. For the second statement, I in capital letters. Then third statement result is what? CSC. Fourth statement result is what? CSC. This is the output, isn't it? No,
Yes, sir. Yes.
isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go to the code window. So here I am writing the code, okay, and I will try to execute the programs whatever I have shown you. Okay, so here I'm writing a equal to 10. Are you seeing the code window, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
A
sir.
equal to 10, B equal to 29, C equal to 39. Then I'm writing print of A comma B comma C. A comma B comma C is written. Now I am executing the program. So this particular example is related to output statement or not? So I'm writing, saving the code, output example 1.py, and run the program. See here what it is showing. See the code. Is the code visible to you? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
what I have written in print statement. So here I have passed how many number of values?
3.
3 number of values are passed. So A comma B comma C. So I'm passing 3 number of inputs for the print function. So when I'm doing this kind of thing, so when I'm passing these kind of values to the print function, so what's the result, guys? So what it is
10,
showing?
29, 39.
10, 29, 39. So how the values are separated with?
Space between.
Between the values, I'm separating the values with the help of what? Space. Now my intention has been changed. Now I want to give dollar instead of space. It should provide what? Dollar as the separator between the values. When I'm printing multiple number of values with the help of a single print statement, so it should separate the values with what? Dollar. So if it is my requirement, then what I have to do? So I have to use an attribute called as SCP attribute. What's the attribute, guys? Please respond.
SCP attribute.
SCP attribute has to be used by the Python programmer for printing what? For print when programmer wants to print multiple number of values over the output screen separated by dollar or separated by some multiplication operator. So based upon so if user want to specify his own separator for separating the multiple values over the output screen, so it can be done with the help of what? SCP attribute. This SCP attribute has to be used in the print function. So let us consider the program. So x equal to 10. Okay. So y is assigned with 20. Then z is assigned with 30. Okay. So consider 3 variables x, y, z. X is assigned with 10, y is assigned with 20, z is assigned with 30. Now I am writing print of x comma y comma z. So after mentioning all the variables separated by, after writing all these variables, you have to mention what? Separate attribute. SEP separator, separate attribute. Okay, SCP attribute has to be used. SCP equal to. SCP equal to. So mention the separator within the single quotes. Okay, so as I want to separate the values with the help of which symbol, guys? Instead of space, dollar. Okay, so mention is dollar inside of what? Single quotes or double quotes or triple quotes. Okay, so I'm mentioning the things in the form of what? Single quote. Close the brace. Okay, now what will be the output? Can anyone guess? How the values are separated?
$10.
$10. Sorry. $10. $20. $30. This is the result. Is it clear?
Yes,
If
sir.
I'm having one more value like this, p equal to 100. Even I want to display p value. Okay, so when I'm writing p here, so what will be the result?
$20, $30.
$100.
100.
That's it. That's the output. So let us see the program, guys. Let us execute it in the ID. Okay, I'm copying the code into the ID. Is it visible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after writing the logic, immediate step is save the program. Output example 2.py. Save the program and run the program. See here, what it is showing? What it is showing? $10, $20, $30, $100. So how the values are separated?
Dollar.
Let us suppose if I want to separate it with the help of forward slash, what we have to do?
SCB forward slash.
In place of this dollar, here we can mention dollar, such that what happens?
Separated by slash.
Separated by slash. Run the program. See here, 10 slash 20 dash 30 dash, sorry, 30 slash 100. So separated by what? Forward slash. So default separator is what?
Forward slash.
Default separator.
Space.
Space is the default separator. So if you are not separating, if you are not specifying the SCP attribute as part of the print statement, by default, SCP attribute will have what? Space. Space is the default separator between the multiple values. When multiple values are multiple number of values are passed to the print function. Okay, so when you are passing multiple number of values to the print function, when it has to be displayed over the user screen, those values are separated by space. Is it clear? Ritvik Gaud, please. Please mute yourself. Is it clear, guys? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So if I want to separate it with asterisk, what I can do? So I'm having multiple number of values. Those values has to be displayed over the user screen on the same line, separated by asterisk. Then tell me the code. Tell me the code. So which part of the logic has to be modified?
SCB or asterisk.
SCP equal to asterisk. Please remember, guys, that particular separator has to be enclosed within
Double code or single code or triple code.
Okay, so please remember that point and then move to the next concept. Okay, so what's the next concept, guys? What's the next concept? End attribute. End attribute. Okay, now let us consider example for end attribute. Now I am writing print of. Okay, I'm giving examples for the end attribute, guys. So example. So here I'm writing print of Vamshi. Then print of Krishna. Okay. Next, print of Godishala. Now, what will be the result, guys? Output of this particular program.
Vamshi Krishna Godishal.
Vamshi will be displayed in the first line. Second line, it will display Krishna. Third line, it will display what? Godishala. Means what happening? So the content which is enclosed within the within this particular double quotes are displayed. After displaying the content onto the output screen, what we are doing? Moving the cursor to the next line. So move to the next line, and it has displayed what? Krishna. So after displaying the content, again it has moved the cursor to the next line. Then printed the content of Godishala. Then after that, again it has moved to the next line, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So after displaying, it is moving to the next line, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So, even though if I am using multiple number of print statements here, even though here I am writing multiple number of print statements, Let us suppose my intention is to print like this. Even if I am writing multiple number of print statements, it has to display the output in the following manner. Okay, Vamshi followed by colon, then Krishna colon Godishala. So this sort of output is needed for me. Okay, even if I am using multiple number of print statements here, so that thing has to be displayed as like this. Okay, so if it is my requirement, what we have to do? Okay, is the requirement clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Hello. So I want to display this one. So don't tell me this kind of statement, guys. Print off within the double quotes. If I am writing like this, Vamshi colon Krishna colon Godishala. Don't tell me this kind of syntax. Okay. Is it clear, guys? If I am executing this kind of thing, so does it displays the same output? Vamshi colon Krishna colon Godishala.
Yes, sir.
But am I expecting this kind of statement here?
No, sir.
No. So we should use what? Multiple number of print statements, right? So print of what? So first of all, we have to display what? Vamshi. After displaying Vamshi, what it has to do? So it has to move to the next line?
No, sir.
Don't move it to the next line. What it has to do? It has to display colon, right? So instead of moving to the next line, what it has to do? The line separator is what here?
Colon.
So it should be specified with what? End attribute. And equal to, it has to be specified inside of single quotes. What's the operator? Colon. Display colon and then close the thing. Okay, now I am giving print of, can anyone tell me the logic? Krishna, then close it within the double quotes, then comma, then
and
equal to
within a single quotes
mention
colon.
Then close the brace, then
Print out.
and again print what? Godishal. Okay, are you following, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let us see this example. Let us execute the program. So copy this code. Save the file. Output example3.py. Then run the program. Are you following? So what it has shown? Vamshi colon Krishna colon Godishala. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Raj Kishore, I think your
Yes,
doubt
sir.
has cleared.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's the solution?
End attribute.
End attribute should be used. End attribute should be used in the print statement. Okay.
Yes.
And the next type of output statement.
So
Yeah, you can ask.
instead of the colon, we can use normal space also, no, sir? In the end attribute.
See, it is left up to you guys. So whatever you want, you can specify here.
Okay, sir.
Let us execute the program. What's there in it? So in place of colon, if I am giving / here. Okay. So here
Yes,
I'm giving asterisk. Now you tell me what happens. Save as output example4.py. Okay. So what I'm doing? First of all, it should display Vamshi. So how it is ending the string? So how it is ending the print statement? With the help of /. Okay. Then the next print statement. So Krishna will be continued. So Vamshi / Krishna will be displayed, and then it is ending the print statement with what? Asterisk. Then Godishala will be continued. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So run the program. See here.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we will see the next type of print statement, guys. Sorry, seeing the notepad editor? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So print of object. Object in the sense what? L1 equal to, you can consider any type of object, guys. So here I'm taking the list object. Okay. Here I'm taking list object. L1 equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So print of L1. L1 is an object or not? Hello? Every data item is considered as an object in the Python programming language, guys. Okay, here I'm representing L1. What is L1 here? Please respond, guys.
Object.
So what kind of object it is? List object. Okay, print of L1. What it shows? List displayed with what? Elements 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be the output or not? Hello? Please respond, guys. Is the output or not?
Yes, sir.
That will be the output. Print statement with formatted string. So we discussed about format specifiers in C programming language or not? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Let us consider the values are like this. A equal to Sai any phone. Sai A equal to 10, B equal to 20, C equal to 30. So here I'm taking 3 number of variables, guys. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Equal to B equal A equal to 10, B equal to 20, C equal to 30. Then I'm writing print. So when it is C sort of programming language, so we have used printf function, right? So the first parameter which we are passing for the printf function is what? When you people are dealing with the variables concept, so variable content has to be displayed over the user screen. So then what we are doing, guys, when it is in C programming language, so what we have written in C, okay? So if it is C sort of programming language, so what we are doing, so it has to be written inside of a function, main function, okay? Inside of this, you have to write the logic, right? Hello. A equal to, sorry, here I have to write what? Int A equal to 10. I want to display the content of A over the user screen. So what I'm doing? Printf. Is it audible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is the first parameter? I want to display the content of A over the user screen.
Percentile D.
So what is percentile D?
Format.
Format specifier.
Format specifier or formatted string or context string we can call. Okay. So here we will specify what? Percentile D and then comma. We are mentioning A has to be written. So what's the result, guys? It will show 10 on the user screen or not?
Yes, sir.
So 10 will be the result. Output is, this will be the result. So same sort of thing has to be written inside of what? Python programming language. If it is the case, so to display something onto the user screen, print statement has to be used specified. Print statement has to be specified. And then here we can mention what? Sorry, percentile D. Sorry, percentile D can be mentioned here. So within the single quotes, we have to mention, guys. Syntax is single quotes, okay? Single quotes, percentile D, comma, percentile D, comma, percentile D. Then single quotes close. And what we have to specify? We have to specify at least one space. You specify at least one space, and then percentile operator has to be used, and within the braces you have to specify the variables. So what are the variables, guys? A comma B comma C. This is the syntax. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
So first of all, we have to specify the formatted string. Okay, These format specifiers are separated with comma. Okay, let us see the example. I'm copying the code. I will execute the program in the IDE. Okay, are you seeing the IDE?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so save the logic and then execute the program. Output example